And today we're going to go through a passing session for you. All you're going to need is some flat surfaces, a football, and maybe a few different objects that you can use around the garden as well. Okay, so get involved and have fun. Okay, so challenge one. First one is going to be a simple passing session. Okay, and what you're going to need is you're going to need a flat surface, your football, and then you're going to use your right foot followed by your left foot, and it's going to pass off the wall or the surface. Okay, so it should look a little bit like this. Okay. Okay, so a little bit of a top tip for you when you're trying to pass the ball. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through it and break it down step by step. So with the ball in front of you, you're then going to think about your standing foot first. So your standing foot is going to go to the side of the football. Okay, your big toe of your standing foot is going to point to the direction or the target of where you're going to try and pass the ball to. Okay, now your kicking foot here is going to open out, so it's like a sweeping brush, and this is the biggest part of your foot. Okay, so you're then going to sweep the football towards the target, and then that way it's going to go in an accurate direction. Okay, so you're going to sweep it forward, but then afterwards you're going to step and follow through. Okay, see if you can try that, give it a go, and then put it into practice. So you might be thinking, how am I going to make this harder for me as I'm trying to pass the ball off the wall using my right foot, then my left foot? Okay, so now I've used the two cones and I put it right up against the wall. Okay, so the area in between is what I'm going to be aiming for. That's the target to try and pass the ball. Okay, so it's going to be right foot, then can I do left foot without stopping each time. If you want to make it harder, all you have to do is make the area smaller. Now, when you are using your right foot and your left foot, I want you to try and think about different parts of your foot when you're passing it off the wall. So is it your inside of your foot? Is it your laces? Or is it the outside of your foot? You may even use your back heel if you needed to. Okay, so give it a go. Try different ones. Try on your right foot, then your left foot. Next progression is you're going to use one cone or an object that you're going to put close to the wall, but then it's going to be in the middle of the area on the floor. Okay, so the ball will then go on the floor. You'll then use your left foot to play it off the wall. As you get it back, you'll have one touch across and then go across again to your right foot, touch across, over to the other side, touch across, and back over to the other side again. Okay, give that a go and see how many you can do. The next progression of the passing session is going to be where you're going to have the cone on the floor, but you'll make one pass with your right and then another pass with your right to go diagonal, and then it'll get back on your left. Okay, but you're going around the cone. So watch again. So we're going to go right foot diagonal, left foot diagonal, and then go again. Right foot diagonal, left foot diagonal. Okay, so you might be thinking, now I'm using the surface area, but the ball is bouncing up. Okay, now if the ball's bouncing up and it's going out of control, it might be because of the connection that you're making with the football. Okay, so in terms of the football, you've got to think about it being a face. Okay, now if this is the chin, this is the nose, and then this is the top of the football, this is the top of the head. You want to try and make connection with the nose of the football. Okay, so if you get underneath it and you hit the chin, it's going to go up. If you get on top of it, it's going to go down. But if you hit the nose, it's going to go straight, and it will try and hug the floor, hug the grass. Okay, so I want to see if you can try and connect with the football there. All right, give that a go, and then see if that helps you. Okay, so small challenge, this time again with a different part of your foot. It's going to be the sole of your foot that you're going to use this time. Okay, so the ball will be used to go around the cone. You're going to try and bounce the ball off the wall using the bottom of your foot or the sole of your foot. Okay, so it's going to go to the wall, the side, to the wall, to the side, to the wall, side, wall, side. So another challenge for you is going to be around about a different type of pass. So this time you might lift the ball. So you might lift the ball in the air when there's an opponent coming towards you and you make a pass over them. Okay, so now you're going to have some different objects that are going to be on the floor, and this time you're going to try and make the ball go over to hit the surface area and then come back. Okay, so it's going to go over and then get it back. And then go over, get it back. Over, get it back. Right foot, can you try and get it on your left foot as well? Okay, so you might be thinking, how else can I make it harder? How else can I get a challenge? So you might then try and do a time trial. Okay, so give yourself 30 seconds. Can you do as many right foots and left foots as you can within the 30 seconds? Okay, give that one a go, see how many you can get. So next challenge is I've set up 4 different surface areas around the pitch. All you've got to do is you're going to start in the middle, and you've then got to try and make as many passes off the surface areas as you can. Okay, so you're going to might go to one, receive it back, then you're going to go to the next one, and then do it as many times as you can within a time. Okay, so you might do it after 1 minute or 30 seconds, totally up to you. Give that a go. Okay, so in this activity, don't forget that I want to see if you can try and go to different surface areas. So don't just go from one and then keep going to the same surface area. Can you go to a different one and make a different type of pass? So if you use the inside of your foot, can you then try and use the outside of your foot? And then try and mix it up as many times as you can to get lots of practice. Okay? Another way that you might then challenge yourself or progress yourself, you might need somebody from home. So you might need a family member, you might need a brother, a sister, anyone else that can get involved. They might try and stop you or get in the way without tackling you to try and stop you from making the passes. Okay, see if you can try that, give it a go. Okay, so next challenge is what I like to call battleships. So we've got 4 different objects or cones, whatever you can find, and we put them out in an area. Okay, you need to find a starting position. So I've got my starting position here. You've got to try and pass the football to try and hit one of the objects. Every time you hit an object, you get a point for your place. Okay, so if you want to make it harder for yourself, there's a few different ways that you can try and think about challenging it and progressing it. So what I've done with the cones this time is I've spread them out, so the distance between the cones is a little bit bigger, or if you think that's a little bit easier, you might want to take your starting position a little bit further back. Okay, so think about that, decide which one you want to choose, which is best for you. Okay, so you might have tried them, and the next one is to try and think about the cones that you've got, or the objects. So you might try and think about putting them out, and each cone is worth a specific amount of points. So the orange one might be worth 5 points, red one might be worth 10 points, or the blue one might be worth 1 point. Okay, then you can lay them out and decide where they go to try and make it harder for yourself. Okay. So earlier on we spoke about different types of passes. So it might be the inside of the foot, might be the outside of the foot, could be using the sole of your foot. But now we're going to start to think about lifting it. Okay, so you might use the laces to try and lift the ball over an object. So I've put out my object, and you've got to try and think about, can I try and make the pass over or round it, and then try and hit one of the cones for your points. Okay, give that a go, see how you get on. Okay, so that's the end of my passing session. Hopefully you've given all the different challenges a go, made it harder, made it easier, depending on whatever level you're at. Once you've had a go, video it, send it back to us and show us what you got. Enjoy.